back to another video. I am doing my February first impressions. This month has flown by. Thankfully, I wrote a Substack about it, and my last video kind of touched about the difference January and February had been. So many fun things happened during February, and a lot of new things have been exposed to me. So let's hop into it. The first thing I want to talk about are a couple products. Number one being the star of the show, this Trader Joe's hand cream. I have been reluctant to get a hand cream just because of the feeling of it, but my hands this winter have been so dry and so horribly cracking. They were literally bleeding at one point, so I decided to cave. I've heard really good things about this. I love the metal tube. It just feels very chic and minimal. And then the smell of this is actually so delicious. I feel like the thickness is really amazing, but she's just been like a total staple for me. It does rub in pretty easily, and I definitely need to stock up on these for sure. Speaking of Trader Joe's, another thing from them I've gotten this month is this citrus green tea candle. I have been loving lighting a candle, especially in the evenings, just to add a little bit more of like an atmosphere. And I wanted something that was fairly cheap that I could just kind of light forever. This thing has lasted a good while. I'm only maybe halfway through it, and it has a very light scent that doesn't really overpower anything. Sometimes I get a headache if the candles are really, really strong. And I also do love the little crackling of this, so I've been keeping this guy lit pretty much whenever I'm home. It just is always on. The next thing, this is so unfortunate. So, okay, little background. I've been wanting to get French pins for a while. I think it's so chic the way that like you can just do a little twist and it's very effortless. I love a low effort, low product style, and I tried a couple on that were really nice, but I was like, oh, I'll just go on Amazon and get like a cheap version. I got this one and I'm so sad. It is literally the worst to hold my hair. It falls out all the time, I think because it's so slick and it's a little bit too wide. I have also a lot of hair just because it's so long. So in concept, this is amazing, but in practice, I just can't wear it. I've even tried doubling up. I think I need to invest in actual good quality ones that are meant to really hold your hair, because I mean, if you had short hair, I'm sure this would be fine. Yeah, it was really disappointing. Another thing that I wanted to get into is perfume. I always wear my tried and true, which is the Glossier Deux, which is like the white one. Super fresh. I wear it every single day. I'm obsessed with it. And I went into the Jo Malone store one day and I spoke to Lucas. He was super sweet and was explaining to me all the different scents that they have and how they mix them, because I'm not very knowledgeable about combining scents. And he gave me this little sample of these perfumes. I really love them, and the English Paraphrenia is such a good like base fruitiness for me. I don't love a super intense vanilla. I am more on the floral side, but I don't want it to be too sweet. This I feel like was a really good starting like kit, I guess. But I do like the Jo Malone scents, and I feel like that could be a good way to go. I want to try out some more brands, and also I've heard things about this maybe not lasting that long, but I felt like it kind of lasted a good amount of time, so we'll see. The next thing I want to talk about is, I'm sorry, it's my J. Crew roll neck sweater. I was not very strong. I caved and bought one, but I will say it's the Bootsy collab, as you know if you've seen my TikTok. This sweater is the most gorgeous thing. It's 100% cotton, as all roll necks are, and it's so beautiful, and I felt so amazing while wearing it. What a special piece to have in my closet. I know that it will be something that I'll wear for a while, and I truly think that it was such a great collab. The store actually allowed me to pick it up early, which was really, really cool. Alright, I just had to start charging my battery again, so I hope that the framing doesn't look too off. Really, really loved this sweater. I can't wait to wear it to a nice dinner. I wore it to the Penguin event and it was just great. I love it so much. So definitely going down the slippery slope that is J. Crew sweaters. But that's okay. If I know I like something, I would rather have multiple forms of it. We'll do a couple books. I read 2 books this month. The first one, guys, was a fun little read. I read Love Theoretically. My friend actually gave me her Ollie Hazelwood books because she was just clearing out her shelves and I was glad to receive them. I've never read any of the Ollie Hazelwood books, and honestly I'm kind of unsure that I will read more because this one was so, I think, peak for me, and I don't know if I have to say more about it. Like, if you've read this book, you know, and that's all I can say. Yeah, that was a fun, like, quick little read. It was right after I read Wuthering Heights, and God knows, that was such a interesting book to me. Next book I read was this one right here. This is The Year of the Horses by Courtney Malm, and what a beautiful, beautiful book. I finished it just a couple of days ago, and I actually read it pretty slowly. There was a lot to digest. This memoir was incredibly thorough. She also time jumped a lot, but I will say it was not confusing at all. Like, I always knew where I stood with her, and even as we progressed through the years and went back to her childhood, I could always follow it. I just felt like the way that she wrote really spoke to me. I don't know, like, it was just perfect. I can't even put into words how much I enjoyed her writing. I do want to pick up another one of her books because of that. Long story short, I won't get into all of it, but she's a new mom, her daughter's 2, she has a husband, and she's just incredibly depressed. And she goes on this journey, and she's still on this journey to heal her depression by following her childhood passion of horse riding. I love that it doesn't just touch on just this spiritual mental connection, but it also goes into the physical connection of the horse. And there was a chapter where she speaks about the magnetism around the horse's heart and how that actually scientifically will affect her own heartbeat and the way that it's circulating blood. And she also touches on, political aspects because, of course, we're, in 2015, 2016, and there's so much turmoil in the United States. And I very much respected how she balanced all of these things. Yeah, what a wonderful book. I also thought it was very on theme because obviously it's the Year of the Horse now. The next thing I'm going to jump to is some shows that I watched. I watched the first half of Bridgerton in February. I watched it with my roommate, and how phenomenal. How phenomenal is that? I love a good East Asian casting. Also, I've never read any of the Bridgerton books, so I don't know the stories at all. I'm totally blind to it. I'm liking this season a lot. I haven't watched any of the second purchase dropped. I haven't even seen it yet. More specifically, can I just say the very first episode when they're dancing and she steps on his foot, she pulls back from him and he's going back in to dance with her, and he lowers his body to allow her to put her arm on his shoulder. Whoa, that was crazy. That is literally the only thing I thought about the entire 4 episodes. That was the best part. Another show that I've been watching, obviously, is Love Story. That is actually better than I thought it was gonna be. I feel like there's this mix of people either totally adoring it or very much hating on it. I think I kind of flex in between both. Writing is a little bit shoddy. Overall, I like the cast. I'm interested. The music, however, is phenomenal. I don't know, and I think the storytelling is pretty fair, so I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. Speaking of the music, the song Heaven or Las Vegas has been on replay for me. There's just there's something in that song that it really does feel like heaven and Las Vegas all wrapped into one. Like, what an ascension listening to that song. I had to look up the lyrics because I truly cannot understand what she's saying when she's singing them, but even after doing that, I was liking it more. I also went to a couple new restaurant foodie places. The first place I'll talk about is Meleiwa. I've seen all the stuff go viral from there, and the prices looked really good, so I went on a weekday. It was not busy at all, which was great. Food was delicious. I really love a steamed pork bun, and I do want to go back and try more stuff. I also made a TikTok about the Winston Bakery. Really fun place to go. I don't think it was personally like the right menu for me. Breakfast places is hard because I don't really like eggs, so that's usually half the menu at places. The pastries look great. Great vibe. Definitely get there super early if you want a table. And we went to the original one in BK just because it's supposed to be better, supposedly. A couple other places I went to, the Anton Kern Gallery. I saw their exhibit with Stephanie Temaer. It featured a mix of paintings and ceramics, resin drawings and tablescapes, a piece of furniture that was like a swan's body mutated into a seat. Essentially, it was like there was an ever-present household object that these creatures were transforming into, playing around with the idea of functionality versus nature and beauty. So that was good to see. I think the ceramics were definitely interesting. I typically don't view a lot of those, and I loved the three-dimensional element of it. More works of art that I had run into were the clothing pieces at Annie's Ibiza. I have been wanting to go to this store since its opening. I've been such a fan of her work since college, and seeing those pieces in person was truly mind-blowing. The women that were working there were so sweet. I think their names were Feli, Stephanie, and Stevie. Just like the sweetest women ever, and were really imploring me to try things on, which was another dream come true. I feel like sometimes you go into stores, especially ones that are so high-end, and they feel very scary and cold, where in Annie's Ibiza, it just felt very safe, like you were playing dress up with your girlfriends when you were little, and you know, you came out of the dressing room and everyone's cheering for you and taking a picture, and what a wonderful space to be in. I just respect brand and the company as a whole even more, because not only are their pieces so beautifully crafted and so intentional, and the storytelling is so fantastic. The stores, what an amazing environment and just a fantastic energy. I do hope to get a piece from them one day. I have no idea when that is even plausible, but I enjoyed it so much. They were so sweet. I am so looking forward to going back. What a good note to end off of. That is it for my roundup of impressions that I faced this month. I know that there's always so much to see in the city, and I'm so grateful that I can be here to experience it and then share my opinions with you. If there is anything that you recommend to me, please let me know. I'm open to going places, eating things, trying out, reading, whatever. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, morning, whenever, wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!